You're listening to a Skewed Orbit original podcast.
Time, weather, and always pass.
Hi, friends. It's Rach. This is not the episode yet, okay? Listen, I know you were expecting part 2 of stress management. I promised it to you, and you were like, Rach, I'm here and I'm ready for it. Here's the real deal. 2 things. I needed more time to process and be able to record what it is that I really want to share with you. And I know if I need more time to process, that means you also need more time to process the part 1, because that's where we get in our own way, right? It's like, okay, yeah, great. I got that part. Okay, what's the next part? And it's like, no. You don't have that part yet. Okay. So in order to practice what I preach, literally, I'm going to give us a little bit of a respite in between. So, September is such a beautiful month. I'm sure you can already feel it. It feels, I don't know, September is always such a magical month for me. And I've talked about that a lot. So there's so much in the September energy. I also think that will be super helpful in between these 2 episodes too, that like integrating some of this as we move into part 2, which is really helping to aid you where you're at right now. Okay. So I just wanted to check in because I know everybody might be a little bit, I don't want anybody to feel like Rach is pulling one over on you. Okay. We are going to get to part 2, but let's just take a break and integrate what we went over last week. Let's enjoy this September energy forecast. And then next week, I will be back with part 2. Okay, here's the September episode. September. We made it. And I know I say that every month because frankly, life is wild. It moves super fast. We're constantly learning, changing, and evolving. And frankly, every day you wake up, you should give yourself a high five. So, I think it bears repeating. We made it, and welcome to September. I'm really excited for this month. I'm going to jump right in because I think that there's a lot that we're going to kind of twist and turn, but I also feel like that's a little evident of kind of just like this energy that we're all in and like what we're all experiencing, that there's a lot changing and moving, and you maybe feel a little like unearthed, and you might say, a lot of wisdom there, LaForce. You've been saying the same thing over and over again. And you're right. I have, because also the feeling of being unearthed is many things. Sometimes we know if it's like you're making a major change, right? You've left your marriage. That's a huge, like you have literally been like destabilized, right? But sometimes it can be a good thing. Like you're trying all new things and like that feels very like destabilizing because it's like, whoa, all these good things are happening, or the thing that I've been manifesting or working towards is showing up and changing, and this thing is working. And it's almost like September wants us to get comfortable being comfortable. Like September wants you to, I feel like I'm speaking, like, listen, September wants you to know, okay? She told me to tell you that, like, she's got your back. And there's this real sense of like stability. Like I really feel like, and everybody loves September, right? Especially here in the States where it's like, okay, it's like fall, back to school, like sweater weather, pumpkin spice. Like there's something very nurturing about the energy of September. And it feels like your friend that's dependable, your friend that you call and she's like, what's up, girl? I got you. It's that energy. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity to receive. And I talk about this all the time of like receiving as a skill. But if you have, like I said, there's so much coming in at once, so bear with me. If you have big dreams, if you're working towards something big, and again, that doesn't have to be like fame and millions of dollars, but something that's big for you. It may be big for you to set boundaries with your family and be like, we're not coming for a whole winter break this year. We're going to come for 3 days and we're leaving, right? That may be a major, big thing for you to do, right? Big really to me means in service of yourself so that you can be in service of other people, right? And we've been doing this, we've been making these moves and we've been allowing things to change. But a lot of the receiving that's come in, it's almost felt like lucky, right? Like we haven't fully been like, yes, of course. Thank you so much. I deserve to have this thing, right? We've still been like, oh my God, thank you for like noticing me, or like, thank you, right? There's still been this sense of like, oh, I guess it was luck, rather than, oh, this can actually be my reality. I can go after the jobs I want and land those clients. I can throw my hat in the ring and be seen. I can set those boundaries with family and the whole world doesn't crash down. And, like I said, this is the very, very beginning of these really new like stories that we're all choosing to create for ourselves. And whatever that means for you, right? That you're really getting this beautiful opportunity to just receive, that it's not like it's not a gotcha, you're not unpunked, like somebody's not going to come out and be like, yeah, candid camera, big dumb idiot, like this isn't for you, like. And I know so often we feel that way, but sometimes things just work out and they're meant to work out for you. And it's just that we have convinced ourselves that things don't. We have an entire patriarchal systematic systems of oppression and blah, 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 blah. Sorry, that's my phone. And all of the things that are meant to make it seem hard for you, right? Like even thinking about where it's like, and then we want to give you a cheat, right? Everything is so hard. Here's a cheat, right? Like there's all these things. And then that way we can sell it to you because it's like, oh, it's too hard for you. Like you should buy this thing. Then it's going to make it easier for you. So not only it's like, then we want to convince you that it's supposed to be hard. And it's receiving is not hard. It's learning to accept and understand that like you just get to. Right? That doesn't mean that you can be like, okay, I'm $40,000 in debt and I'm going to manifest $1 million. Like, I love that gumption. Let's first work on what are the patterns that got you into debt and what are we going to do to get you out of that? And what is a realistic timeline for getting you out of $40,000 worth of debt, right? That's a massive win in and of itself. Then we can move on to how are we going to manifest this money quicker and let it roll and let it roll and let it roll, right? And because like I always feel like the seasons are a great aspect to look at realistic change, right? It's not like it doesn't go from summer to winter automatically, right? We have autumn, we have like this time for things to transition, and manifestations, calling in things to your life, praying about it, like whatever your process, it is a process. And I think a lot of times we get frustrated that things don't happen right away and then we give up. It's also that self-sabotage. Well, I tried for 4 weeks and it didn't work, so I'm over it. It's like anybody who's ever either gained a lot of muscle or lost a lot of weight or even like gaining weight, although we all know it's easier to gain weight than to lose it. God bless. But, these processes, it's like it is a process. And I feel like the process that we have been enduring and what we've been doing over the last couple of months is finally coming into a little bit of that fruition in September, where things are starting to sprout and you're starting to see, like, again, where it was like before, like, oh, I'm so lucky. Like, oh, thank you. And September is going to offer you like a lot of opportunities to receive. It's going to offer you a lot of green lights, and it's not a gotcha. What we're being asked to do now is like, can you adjust to this being your new reality? And I don't know your life. I'll speak for me. That's not easy. Like I was like, there's a lot moving with our business. I was like, oh, holy shit, this is actually going to work. Like literally up until a few days ago, I was still like, manifesting with the idea of like a hope and a prayer, on my knees praying to Jesus, like, please, this has to work. Like, I don't have a backup plan. What are we going to do? And it wasn't until all of a sudden that I was like, oh, Rachel, you have to now like, we got to get out of that story that things aren't working. Like they're happening. This is the story now. You are the CEO now. You are the one that makes the decisions. Like you got to jump from there to here. Like we're here now, and sometimes that's a little jarring because we've been there for so long. And that's really what September I think, right? There's all these different energies we can tap into and whatever. So take what works for you and leave the rest. But I think it's that simple of it's really offering us this like, should you choose? Because you can still continue to be like, oh no, oh gosh, me. Oh, you can stay there if you'd like, but we're all moving on regardless. So I really encourage you to like begin to take note of like, are you comfortable receiving? What does receiving feel like to you? Are you able to slow down and notice, like, oh, yeah, these things are happening because they're supposed to be happening, you know? And like, again, that's kind of a bizarre, I don't know, maybe you have a different take on it. But again, like I said, it was like, you know, the things that I have been working towards and manifesting, which is like being super comfortable in motherhood, which, like, how cute, right? The mothers that are watching and they're like, yeah, just wait for this phase. But like, you know, my oldest is 3 years old. And I feel like just now I'm like, okay, all right. I think I'm like at least kind of getting a handle on this, especially like energy split. You know, it's like making sure that like my kids and my husband are my number one priority. And then like, but I need to also be a number one priority so that I take care of myself so I can show up for them. And then my extended family is such a beautiful part of our life. Okay. And then, you know, this entire conscious entertainment empire that I'm building. And right now it's, you know, me and about 3 other faithful, loyal individuals. And, you know, and it's like ketchup popsicle trying to, you know, jump around, hungry, hungry hippos. Like what needs my attention today? And even being able to get to that bandwidth has taken us 3 years. So now that I'm in this new reality where it's like, okay, we kind of have a handle on this thing, and these businesses and things that I've been manifesting and building and, you know, doing all of this market research on all these things, like they're working now. And it really was this feeling of like, you're welcome to receive that they're working, and you're welcome to shift into, you know, I'm a businesswoman and I got some shit to do. I got some shit to teach and I got some shit to learn, right? Like it's time we can transition now. And I think that September is offering that gift to all of us of like, whatever these shifts are, you can continue to say, oh, I'm still working towards that thing. Or now can be the pivot for you where it's like, oh, I am this thing. And now what are we going to create from here? So I think September is really like beautiful and fun. I mean, again, we all love September, right? People can start to, I know all you like October Halloween lovers, like you can start to do your pumpkin spice and wear your sweaters and, you know, put out your Halloween decorations and watch Practical Magic. I'm here for it, you know, just no judgment, just jokes. But, you know, it's really offering us, I think there's a lot of like fun energy. And I think that there's a lot of safety here and it doesn't feel super challenging. The only challenge is like, can you be into it? Can you say yes? And can you own it? Because again, I'm not somebody that I feel like, you know, God or the universe, I don't feel like it's like you get this test. I think it's always opportunities. I think we are always, always, always presented with opportunities. And, you know, if you define it as a test, that's fine. I see it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to change and shift and do something different towards your betterment or staying in what still feels comfortable. And I feel like we've been doing the upheaval, we've been doing the uprooting, we've been doing the things that are uncomfortable. And now you're getting the opportunity to get comfortable being comfortable. You know, we've been working all of this outside of your comfort zone and we're still doing that. I'm still doing things, y'all, that absolutely terrify me. And I'm like, wow, if this doesn't work out, boy, am I a big dumb idiot. Okay. And so, but that's just whatever, man. Like, what other way is there to play? All of this is made up. Nobody knows what they're doing. We're on a spinning rock in an infinite universe. And we think we know how we got here, but we don't really know. You know, we have faith. We think we know, but we don't really know. So just allow yourself to like get caught up and having fun, get caught up and saying yes, get caught up and being seen, and just let that ride for a little bit. Okay. Because I'm 99.9% sure that nobody here watching has a problem with their ego being too big, with, you know, their narcissistic tendencies. Everybody that's here could afford to toot their own horn, brag a little bit more, and get out there and shake their ass. Okay. So allow September to be that for you and just trust that it really all is working out for you. And even when it feels like you're being punked, it's like, just can you get comfortable with like that things are supposed to work out for you? And, you know, everybody loves to be like, I'm in my this era, or like, you know, main character energy. And it's like, that's what being unbothered is. And that's what main character energy is. That of course good things are supposed to happen to me. And, because we also know that the more abundance we have, the more we can go out and create more love, connection, and community. And that's all it's about. Okay. So go let September be good to you. Okay. I was going to pull a card, but I feel like we did it. So that is September. If you have not, or if you're interested, on September 9th, so this coming Sunday, September 8th, September 8th, this coming Sunday, I am teaching a free workshop. It is completely free. It's called Activating Your Life Force Energy, not a cult. And this is all about, right? I've been talking about that I'm on this now 20-month journey to get fit and famous, right? It's really a 20-month journey of transformation into what is your highest self, right? What is the part of you that really wants to show up and share your gifts with the world? That's what this transformation is about, right? So you may be like, Rachel, I don't have any interest in getting fit or famous. That's completely fine. Those are just my words, right? And so I'm going to teach you about what is that life force energy? What does that mean? How do you get in touch with it? How do you work that muscle? And then I'm going to offer you our 5 points of discipline that are going to help you reroute in that. So when things either start to get really good and you're like, oh, this can't be true, and that kind of throws you off, or you start to be like, this isn't working, this is frustrating, you can always come back to this 5 points of discipline practice to really kind of hold you into that energy of like, this is what I want, this is what I've committed to, and let's transform. Cool. It's completely free. We've got the link here. I would absolutely love to see you. I think as of like right before I jumped on, I'm almost up to like 90 people that are joining us. So I'm so beyond excited. So please check that out. We're going to be rolling out a text feature that you can join. As always, you can join my Substack. It's only $9.99 a month. There are so many good videos and meditations and card readings and things to really help you meet you where you're at and help you get to the other side. Okay. The only warning I want to offer you on any of that is just, I want to warn you that the more that you engage in my work and you invest in yourself, you're likely to massively change your life and grow. So consider yourself warned. Have a beautiful, wonderful September. Love you so much. See you in October.
Time, weather, and highways.